In the previous session we discussed about the echinodermata, and in today's session we are going to start with the next phyla called Hemichordata. General properties of Hemichordata includes few of the properties of non-chordates and few properties of chordate structures. So here it will be half non-chordate characters and half chordate characters. So let us discuss about the chordate and non-chordate properties in one phyla, and that is called as Hemichordata. So here Hemichordata. Hemichordata. Here hemi refers to half chordate characters. Chordata refers to chordate properties. Chordate characters. Here the organisms of Hemichordata phylum possess half chordate characters. So that's why the name is called Hemichordata. Here these organisms possess organ system level of organization. Organ system level of organization. We know about the levels of organization. In that, the advanced group of organisms which possess a particular organ system, a group of organs to perform one function in a coordinated manner, and that is called as organ system level of organization. So next, the body of organism is tube-like, so that these are called as tuberculous organisms. Tuberculous organisms. Tube like irtade, ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಇವನ್ನ tuberculous organisms ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. And these organisms are living in seas and oceans, so that these are exclusively marine. These are exclusively marine, living in seas and oceans. Next, these are also triploblastic, as they possess all the three germ layers, triploblastic, and as due to the presence of body cavity framed by mesodermal germ layer, they are called as coelomates. Coelomates. Okay, so next property, they possess a pre-chordate features. Here one special property, these organisms are having both the characters of non-chordates and chordate characters. Okay, so that's why when we go through the pre-chordate characters, that refers to non-chordate characteristic features. So ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಇವಾಗ CET ನಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ತರ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಒಂದು 4 ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ A B C D ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತದೆ. Pick out the any one of the chordate character ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದು, ನಾನ್ chordate character ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಪ್ರೀ chordate characters ಅಂದರೆ ನಾನ್ chordate charactersನ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಪ್ರೀ ಅಂದರೆ chordatesಗಿಂತ ಮುಂಚೆ ಬಂದವು ನಾನ್ chordates. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನಾನ್ chordate charactersನ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಸೊ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ನಿಮಗೆ ನಾನ್ chordate characters ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಇತ್ತೋ ಅದು ಈ ಹೆಮಿಕಾರ್ಡೇಟದಲ್ಲೂ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ. ಅದು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬೇರೆ ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಕೇಳಿರ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ ಅದನ್ನು ನೀವು ತೆಗಿಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆನಾ? ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನೀವು ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು, ವಿಚ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಪ್ರೀ ಕಾರ್ಡೇಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟೀಸ್. ಹಿಯರ್ ದ ಪ್ರೀ ಕಾರ್ಡೇಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ದ presence of notochord, pharyngeal gill slits, so that is commonly called as gill slits, and the last one, nerve cord. That is nerve cord. So here the presence of notochord, gill slits and nerve cord all are the properties of non-chordates. So that's why these are all present in case of the members of hemichordates. So that's why these are considered as a non-chordate properties of hemichordata. ನಿಧಾನಕ್ಕೆ ನೀಟಾಗಿ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಹೆಮಿಕಾರ್ಡೇಟಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋ ಅಂಥ ನಾನ್ ಕಾರ್ಡೇಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟೀಸ್ ಯಾವುದು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರೆಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ನೋಟೋಕಾರ್ಡ್, ಗಿಲ್ ಸ್ಲಿಟ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದಿ ನರ್ವ್ ಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆನಾ? ಸೊ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದ symmetry of the organism. They exhibit bilateral symmetry. Bilateral symmetry. When we write the diagram to understand the unique nature, you can find the anterior-posterior axis. So that provides us a two equal halves along anterior-posterior axis. That is called as the bilateral symmetry across anterior-posterior axis. Okay, so a few of the organisms provides a two equal halves along dorsoventral plane, few will gives us anterior posterior axis plane. So in case of hemichordata, they provide us two equal halves through their symmetry along the anterior posterior axis. So here anterior posterior axis. Okay, so next, now we are going to start with the structure, a morphological structure which will gives us a better understanding of hemichordate characteristic features. One of the organism which will be taken as example, that is Balanoglossus. Balanoglossus. And few more examples are Sarcoglossus, and the other one is Cephalodiscus. So these are the few examples of hemichordata. Here Balanoglossus will be taken to understand the morphology and also unique properties of hemichordata. When we start writing the diagram of this organism, you can able to notice the presence of blunt tubular end at anterior region, and it is going to extend its structure by the presence of a little bit wider next segment. This is a wider next segment, and the later part which will run as a tube-like structure without the presence of anus. So this is a structure of a long tubular part of a Balanoglossus. So here it is also the presence of blunt end only, not a pointed, and there is a absence of anus at the tip. So it will be present little bit earlier only. So that's why there is no anus at the pointed end. So that's why it is not considered as a tail. Keep it in mind, if the anus is present at the last portion, then it is called as tail, but here it is absent. So that's we will not consider this as a tail portion. So here when we take up the parts individually, this is called as proboscis. And at the anterior end there will be presence of mouth, and later portion which is a broader or wider segment and is called as collar, and the later structure is called as trunk. And when we see the structure of a trunk, you can find that a just half opened appearance, a slit like appearance. This is a slit like appearance where it provides the presence of three segments for this trunk structure. This run as like this, okay, and later this trunk again divided into three regions based on their structure. So here there will be a presence of respiratory structure at this primary portion, so that's why it is called as branchial trunk. After that, the next section is the presence of hepatic trunk. The liver portions will be there, so that's why it is considered as hepatic trunk. Hepatic means liver, okay. So here the hepatic trunk, and the last section is called as gonadal. So here it will be presence of glandular structures at this region. Glandular means, or you can say it is a globular structures which runs, okay. So this is called as glandular trunk, gonadal, a glandular structure containing region called as gonadal trunk. So this is how the appearance of balanoglossus will be there, and it is having a burrowing habitat. These organisms are having burrowing habit as they possess proboscis. Just make a complete furrow of the land and then make a complete appearance inside the land itself. So that's why these are called as burrowing organism. So next, coming to the in detail properties, the digestive system or the digestion process, which is complete with the presence of mouth and anus. Anus will be present a little bit lower, so that is due to the presence of mouth and anus, they exhibit complete digestive system, and digestion is intracellular. Almost all the higher level organisms exhibit intracellular digestion itself. So next is the respiratory system. Here the respiration process includes the presence of numerous gill slits. Here you can find the gill slits. So that's why the numerous gill slits present at the first portion or primary portion of a trunk is called as branchial trunk. So that's why the numerous gill slits will help in respiration. Here you know that the gill slit is one of the important property of a precaudate character. And next is circulatory system, or the process of circulation, which is open type, and all the organs which are present inside the body of an organism is completely bathed inside with the blood, and that's why the place or the space where it is provided for the supply of blood. So that's why the blood is directly poured into the sinuses. The open space for open type of circulation is called as sinuses. Okay. So here, due to the presence of open type of circulation, sinuses will be there, and those will help in the pouring of blood, where all the organs of an organism is completely bathed with the blood. And next, coming to the nervous system. These possess a tubular dorsal arch, tubular dorsal arch, and then epidermal, one more portion called as epidermal plexus. Epidermal plexus. Here plexus refers to network. Here the dorsal tubular arch is a characteristic feature of a chordate organisms, and epidermal plexus, it refers to a nerves which way they are completely embedded and they frame a network. So that is called as epidermal plexus. Plexus andre network anta meaning ashte. Okay. So here the nervous system is completely developed by the presence of one property of a chordate, that is dorsal tubular arch, and other property of a non-chordate called as epidermal plexus. Here the plexus refers to network. And coming to the reproduction process, first is excretory system. Here the excretion is ammonotelic type. As they are living inside the water, they excrete the major ammonia as a product. So ammonotelic, and here is a special type of gland called as proboscis gland. Proboscis gland, which helps in excretion process. Proboscis gland helps in excretion, and instead of anus it is called as proboscis pore. Proboscis pore. Proboscis pore. Coming to the reproductive system, here the reproduction is due to the presence of separate sexes. Sexes are separate. Sometimes they may be unite also. That becomes a hermaphrodite organism. Here, listen here students, you are going to identify both separate sex organisms are hermaphrodites also. If they are having separate sexes, then the reproduction will be cross fertilization method. And even in case of hermaphrodites, they exhibit the cross fertilization as due to the protandria protogynous method. Due to the development of gynous the ovaries first, then it becomes a protogyny. If in case they develop a testis first, then they become the protandry, right? So here regarding sexes which are separate, that forms the cross reproduction, and even sometimes they become united also. United sexes. In each individual organism only you can find the two sexes, that means the presence of both ovary and the testis. And the development fertilization. So here the fertilization which is both external and internal, you know that the external and internal fertilization. Some of the organisms will will fertilize the eggs inside the body of an organism, then they become an internal fertilization. Some of the organisms of Hemichordata will forms the fertilization process of an eggs outside the body of an organism. So then it becomes the external fertilization. Then the last point, development. Here they exhibit both direct and indirect development. Development is both by direct or indirect method. If it is having indirect method of development, they contain Tornaria as a which is the larval stage anta kelbodu, Tornaria. Direct development refers to a egg which develop directly into an adult one, okay, adult individual. But sometimes the egg which is developed into an adult with the intermediate stages, and that follows the presence of larval stage, and that is called as indirect development. In case of hemichordates, there is a one larval stage called as Tornaria, which forms a larval stage for its intermediate developmental stage. Okay. So, this is regarding the hemichordata, and one example Belanoglassus I took, and other examples are Sacoglassus and Cephalodiscus. So, go through the general properties and then the unique properties also. Phylum Hemichordata is having both the chordate properties and non-chordate properties. So, that is why these are called as half chordates, and they exhibit organ system level of organization. The body of an organism is tube-like, so that they are called as tuberculous, and they are exclusively marine. They are living inside the seas and oceans. And coming to the wall layers and the body cavity, they contain all the three wall layers, germ layers. That is why they are called as triploblastic, and they consist of mesodermal germ layer which will form a body cavity. That is why these are called as coelomates. And then come to the prechordate characters. So, this is more important. Prechordate properties are present in hemichordate, which are as follows: presence of notochord, gill slits and nerve cord. So, these three properties are special to any of the hemichordate organism. So, these three are considered as a prechordate characters. Then they exhibit bilateral symmetry along anterior posterior axis. Then come to the body of an organism, which is very soft and segmented. So, here the segmented structure is proboscis, collar and trunk. When come to proboscis, which helps in burrowing type of habit, and they having a blunt end, a triangular blunt end. Then broad next division called as collar. Then come to the next portion called as trunk, which is a very elongated one, and they contain a proboscis spore before the end. So, that is why this is called, it is not considered as a tail. And this trunk can be divided into branchial, hepatic and the gonadal. So, regarding the structure of a Belanoglassus, and come to the digestive system, mouth and anus are present. So, that is why these exhibit the complete digestive system, and they forms a intracellular digestion. Respiration is through numerous gill slits which are present at the branchial trunk region. The circulation is of open type. The blood is directly poured into the open spaces which are present inside the body of an organism called as sinuses, and it is of open type. Nervous system, which is having two properties, that the epidermal plexus, which forms the nerve network, and the dorsal tubular heart, which forms the presence of chordate character. The excretion will be ammonotelic, and it is formed by proboscis gland and the proboscis pore. The reproduction will be either separate or united. Some of the organism is hermaphrodite, so that is why it also forms the united type of reproduction. Then the fertilization is both by internal and external method. In few cases, the eggs are fertilized inside the body of an organism, or sometimes outside the body of an organism. So, that is why they exhibit both external and internal fertilization. The development is both by direct and indirect method. If it falls in indirect method of development, they cross the Tornaria type of larval stage, and that larval stage will be common for all the hemichordates. So, regarding hemichordata we discussed. In the next session we are going to take up the chordata, phylum chordata. Okay. Thank you, dear students.